All right, we are live. Just getting started, everybody. Come on in. Simeon Snow, I see you. Welcome in. Anonymous user, I see you. Welcome in. Esthionra, welcome in. Good to see you again. AMG, welcome. Good to see you. Alex, hi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. So good to see you in. Esthionra, absolutely. Love how much you're streaming. Thank you. Yeah, it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, and so I finally pulled the trigger on it and just went for it. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I'm having a lot of fun connecting with you guys, getting to know you a little bit better, and I don't know. I feel like it's like this little secret club that we have over here that we're able to come into and just talk about magic and talk about whatever's going on. All right, can you hear? All right, can everybody hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. You can hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you, KB. Esoteric Catitude. I love that name. Estianra, I've got to get to work though. Might pop in later. If you're able to pop in, don't get in trouble at work. But if you can be sneaky and a little bit demonic, maybe you could pop in and get away with it. Anyway, best of luck to you at work. Stay safe. Make that money, all right? Alex, yeah, you guys can hear me perfectly. You can hear me. Okay, thank you guys. Cool massager. Cool massager. How should I contact you, please? I'm going to tell you what, if you want to book a private consultation with me, if you've got something going on, head to my website and book a consultation through my website. If you've got something we can handle in like 30 minutes, just get a 30-minute consultation, or we can go up to 90 minutes, or go and get a ritual assessment, and we can kind of consult through email that way. But if you have something going on, head to my website. That's going to be the fastest, best way to get a hold of me and get my full, undivided attention. I try to handle stuff in the DMs as I can, but I'm so busy with helping so many people. I just finished 2 rituals today for people, and then I had to jump on this live stream. I didn't have to jump on this live stream. I get to jump on this live stream. But there's so much going on. It can be just overwhelming for me to try and keep up with everybody's DMs and all of that. So the best way to get a hold of me is to book with me, and we will hang out, talk about whatever you want to talk about, completely judgment free, and we'll go as deep as you want to go. Give us some money magic. You know what? I've got some money magic coming for you. So, dude, I have some money magic coming for you. It's going to be... I've got to think about how I want to go about this. You know what? Okay. Give me a sec. Good afternoon. RVO9, good to see you. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing beautifully today. Wicked Bruja, so great to see you again. Welcome back. How are you guys doing? Quilchioki. I can't pronounce your name, but good day to you. Mara, hello. So good to see you, Mara. Fenrir Greyback. What makes a magic forbidden? What makes magic forbidden? What makes a type of magic forbidden? I didn't come up with, but I use the term forbidden magic very abstractly, right? It is to each their own. Is it magic that you are sort of fearful to step into, but it feels right for you? Is it magic that goes against what's popular, what everybody else believes? Is it magic that if you were to talk about it online, you're going to have people coming for you? What is forbidden magic? Is it forbidden in the church? Most likely. Would it be frowned upon in society? Most likely. Is the philosophical approach within the overall, the way you think, the way you behave, is that sort of going against, in an adversarial way, what the majority, what the hive mind is going along with, what they are enforcing? To me, that's forbidden magic. Forbidden magic is the magic of the outcast, the exile, the magic of the scapegoat. It's always been forbidden since the dawn of time. And those who uphold that which is forbidden, but still choose to do it anyway, over popularity, over acceptance, in the sake of truth and power, those are the ones who practice forbidden magic. Those are the ones who live a lifestyle of forbidden magic. Ace, hi Ace, so good to see you. Wicked Bruja, I'm glad to hear you're doing great. It is so good to see you. Alex says, thank you so much for taking the time to do this live. You know what? Thank you for being here, Alex. User 438-447-1183880 says, sorry, I had to. How to start magic. You're already starting. You're already starting. Just by being here, you're already starting magic. But if you want to take that deeper, start learning some breath work, start learning to slow your breathing, start learning to be present, start learning to focus on your breathing. What happens when we focus on our breathing? I'm going to try not to go too deep here. I don't want it to go over anybody's heads. So I'm trying to explain it as beginner friendly as possible. If you're familiar with the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, all right, think of our mind as sort of this serpent, this snake. When you focus on your own breathing, your mind is everywhere, right? It's this crazy serpent, this snake squirming everywhere. When you focus on your own breathing and you slow your breathing and you're completely present, it becomes like the snake, the Ouroboros, the snake, the serpent eating its own tail. The end begins where the beginning ends. It's an ever-looping cycle. So rather than your mind jumping everywhere, your mind becomes like a loop. And it's the eternal present. You step into eternity. That's where a lot of magic starts happening. So start there. Morgan May says, have you ever worked with Prince Citri? Prince Citri. I have not, Morgan. I have not. If you've worked with Prince Citri, please let me know your experiences. Jay, the content guy, says, oh, Jesus. Sorry, Jay. Jesus is not here today, but he might be here tomorrow. RVO9, do you work with Santa Muerte? I do not, but it's not off the table. She just has not reached out to me yet. But as a black magician, I will work with any entity, any spirit, any god that comes to me, that reaches out to me, that wants to work with me. Dot says, talk about manipulation magic. I don't, what do you mean by manipulation magic? Like, thought control, trying to manipulate people's thoughts, persuasion. Is that what you mean? Or like manipulating the elements and things like that? If it's mind control, all right, pay attention. If it's mind control, this is the message that keeps repeatedly coming to me. And when I say mind control, I'm talking about being able to influence thoughts with magic, right? Yesterday I talked about going to the bank. Nearly 2 years ago now, I had just become fully self-employed as a full-time black magician. And I walk into the bank because I wanted to get pre-approved for a loan to purchase a new vehicle. And they're like, well, we need like a paper trail of how much money you've been making and all of that. I didn't have any of that. I'm like, I'm just figuring this stuff out. And so I went and I hit up Belial and I hit up Paimon, especially Paimon, who can govern thought control, controlling thoughts. And a few days go by and I get a phone call. The representative that I was working with, his name was Christian. He's like, Corey, I don't know how this happened, but you were approved through the underwriters. You got it. We're good to go. And it's like, boom. So when I say thought control, it's kind of like you're not dominating. You are planting seeds. You are it's very persuasive. You're influencing minds the same way that radio waves kind of move through. Now, what happened, what I've been receiving about this is that if you want to control the thoughts of others, if you want to control the minds of others, first you must learn to control your own mind. So this is another inside-out approach. Now, controlling your own mind is to have discipline. This happens through ascension. This is going to happen through ascension. So establishing a discipline for yourself, stop thinking the way that you think that's causing you to make bad decisions, that's ultimately self-destructive, that's taking you down a self-destructive path. And part of those bad decisions may be the desire to control other people, right? If you have a desire to control other people, this is probably coming from a janky-ass place. So as you ascend, if you truly want the power to influence others, it's through leadership. Be the example. Be the example. Be the shining star. Become like Lucifer. Illuminate everybody. And you don't even have to control other people at that point. You help them to illuminate themselves, and they will follow you all the way to the end. Tranquil Night Oracle says, I love your symbol in the background that always represents Azazel to me in my practice. Also Saturn. Yes, Let me show you that real quick. Yeah, that is Saturn, Azazel, and the Infernal Empire. I love it. Wicked Bruja says, thanks. You are welcome. Esoteric Catitude. Who claims what's forbidden or not when everybody's perception differs? Well, everything is a point of view. Good is a point of view. Evil is a point of view. Forbidden is a point of view. Acceptance is a point of view. It's all about your point of view. Fenrir Greyback says, I've always thought of magic in general as enforcing your own will on reality. Is this accurate? Yes. It is taking that which you desire, aligning that with your intention, and pushing your will upon reality to bring that which you desire forth, to make changes in your own reality, in your own life that you would like to see, that you would like to experience. And through mastery of your own reality, you can start to reach out into the overall reality more and more. So, if you want to start to dictate the outcome of the Olympics, start making changes in your own reality to the point where you know that you can. You absolutely know that you can, and it's going to work every single time. Mara says, thank you for taking the burden/gift of education. I love to talk. I just love to talk, and if I find something in life that I think is going to benefit others, it doesn't matter if I found a new recipe for cooking. I've got to share it with the world. And so magic is just a really huge thing that if it's something that I've found for myself, I can't keep it to myself. I've got to share it with all who will listen. So I truly know that it changes lives. It can take you from point A to point B to point C to, when I started practicing magic, it was like everything changed. Suddenly, those areas where I felt powerless, I became powerful. And who wouldn't want to benefit from that? So that's why I'm here doing what I'm doing. I think it can open doors, it can open eyes for a lot of people, open opportunities for a lot of people. And it's a birthright. It's a birthright. I don't care about bloodlines. I don't care about, who's a 2000th generation witch of this lineage. Everybody is born into magic because we are magical beings. What happens is we forget, and it gets conditioned out of us. Tulia, thank you for those roses. Thank you so much. Hellcat, thank you for the heart. Jonathan, thank you for the gamer press. Ms. Mel, thank you for the heart. Alex, thank you for the heart. What is that? What's that first thing you sent, John? Finger something. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to look into this stuff. I'm getting used to the whole live thing. Ninty, thank you for the rose. Alex, thank you for the heart puff. I got to get caught up on the chat here. How do you feel about Hecate? I love Hecate, but I don't currently work with Hecate, although I don't believe if you're in magic and acknowledge the moon in any way. I think you're, I think you're in Hecate's energy. Sua Sponte, what was the coolest spell you have done? What was the coolest spell I've done? Ooh. I've done so many. I've done probably thousands. But what was the coolest? You know, I think that's going to depend. I have, I've done so many healing spells where I've seen somebody literally within days become healed of some sort of sickness or injury that they have. I've done curses that I've seen. I've got to be careful what I say here, but I've done some curses that have worked within weeks, and I mean, they were a heart stopper, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm always blown away by money magic. I'm always blown away by powerful money magic, especially when money just pours in afterward. And it's just like, oh, this is blowing me away. I'll never get used to it. I'll never get used to it. Christina, thank you for the rose and the chilies and the shard of hope. Shards of hope, multiple shards of hope. Thank you for those. Well, let me get caught up here. Every time I scroll on this thing, it loses my spot. Was Chris Angel was Chris Angel a real magician or just a paid actor? So I used to love watching Chris Angel Mind Freak. No, Chris Angel is an illusionist and a stage magician. However, I will say that the magic of stage magic, of illusion magic like that, is the magic that you feel within you, the inspiration that you feel, right? By seeing something incredible that should look impossible. And it's the stage magicians of the world, the performers, who are able to just give that feeling, to the world, to the audience. It's just like a musician, just like an actor in a movie or a play. A stage magician can evoke that feeling of magic within somebody. Medium well, that is incredible. Medium, so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Laron, damn, that is a great example. I can't remember what you're talking about. My memory is like a goldfish. Hi, Tulia. Welcome back. Tulia's been here every single day. I gotta tell you. I think it's because I'm summoning her spirit every time. I'm just kidding. Have you ever encountered a member of the Voltec? And what was that like, if so? I don't think so. I don't believe that I have. I thought you said Voldemort at first, and that would not be good. I don't want. We got to keep Voldemort away. We don't need Voldemort taking over things here, so. Unless I'm Voldemort and I'm not telling you. Because that's exactly what I would say. We got to keep Voldemort away because I am Voldemort. And. It is the most devious plan. Aaron, what's up, my brother? Likaki, I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm butchering that, please correct me. Hello, so great to see you. Manny is back. Welcome back, Manny. Hope you are well. I hope you are well too. And I hope today's just been treating you so well. It's been a good day for me. I actually went and got a workout in this morning and just got my blood flowing. I didn't do too much. I don't go crazy anymore. I just like to feel good. I like to feel good. I like to get a little walk in, and I'll move some weights a little bit, and I come out feeling like $1,000,000. Yes, on the birthright. Yes, magic is your birthright. Singing my song says, I met her, I love her. I'm assuming you're talking about Hecate. That is awesome. Keep pursuing that. Keep pursuing that relationship and see where that brings you. How did you first get into magic and what makes you pursue it? The magic itself. I think those of us who get into magic, there was never just one moment. It was a voice. It was a voice calling us since a very early age. And at some point, I think we all kind of just gave in. We all kind of just gave in. One movie at a time, watching or reading one book at a time. You know, for me, it was just one small event after another for years and years and years, and I finally stopped running from it and chose to embrace it. And I think it's that way for a lot of us. I think we stop running from who it is we're supposed to be, and we choose to embrace that because that's where we feel our most authentic at, where we're no longer hiding from ourselves. Ms. Mel, thank you for the groove guitar. Christina, thank you for Marvin the Monkey. Thank you for the welcome, Dala. Thank you for that chili. 12 chilies. Oh, I gotta catch up on the chat again. Scroll back up to where we were. Ninty says, I tried to work with Clowneck, but failed to get the work we agreed to. Not sure what went wrong. So what do you mean by the work you and Clowneck agreed to? Usually, when something seems like it's falling through, when you're working with an entity and you're working towards a goal, you may be thinking, oh, this is going to be the job. Help me land this interview and get this job, or let that be the house that I get, or whatever. And that falls through, and you're like, oh, you didn't hold up your end of the deal. How dare you? I'm not working with you anymore. And what happens is maybe that job was an obstacle. You were setting your sights too low. Maybe there's something better that you need to be looking into. Maybe there's something you're being prepared for. A lot of the time, these spirits don't like to settle for where you've trapped yourself at. They want to bring you up and out. They're trying to help you grow. They're teachers. They're teachers. As much as they are friends and partners and all of this, they're trying to help you excel in life and become your best. And they're going to push you to become your best. Sometimes it seems like the money just doesn't come. It seems like, a lot of people want like a relationship entity to make their failed relationship automatically come back together in a couple weeks. It doesn't work like that. They want to be catalyst for growth, and they're going to use whatever it takes to get you out of your stupid head so that you listen and you learn about yourself, and you finally start to appreciate yourself and value yourself. And that's where the message becomes clear. It's about the self, right? I'm settling for this interview, and they're offering to pay me scraps, but I'm working with Clowneck, or I'm working with Paimon, or I'm working, and that's what I'm settled on because I desperately need it. Meanwhile, the guides are like, what? Why do you only value yourself for that much? Why do you see yourself in this light? There's so much more to you than the story, the false story, the lie that you tell yourself. No. F that company. No. Screw that house. That's not an opportunity. That's not an opportunity. I'm slamming that door. Let's wait for another door to come along. Guys, these entities are so much bigger and better than we give them credit for. So when it feels like they are falling through on their end of some bargain, it's not that they're falling through. They're like, no, I'm giving you so much more than you bargained for. You better buckle up and get waiting. You better get ready for what's coming. XO Sweetheart 8, how do you say your name? LOL. Damios. Damios. But also, I go by Corey. Also, Corey's my regular name. My magical name is Damios, so. But that's how you say it. Nyx Raven Alchemist, Mary Meat, right back at you. So great to have you here. TN Capper says, what's your thoughts on the Norse pantheon? I love them, and I love the symbolism. I love what they represent. And, they're very near and dear to me, the Norse pantheon. They are very powerful, especially the rune magic. The runes. The runes are what you want to pursue, right? The runes are what the gods worked hard to get. The runes are older. The runes themselves are older than the Norse gods. Pursue the wisdom of the rune magic. Learn how to cast spells through rune magic. And go as deep as you can. Every rune can teach you something. It has something to teach you. And they are powerful. I've used a rune. I've used runes to control the weather, all right? When we were having a drought and the mountains were all on fire right near my house, I called a storm that lasted 3 days. Put that fire out, no problem. I feel like we water the runes down to bumper stickers for our cars and things like that, but these are very powerful and very ancient glyphs of magic. Deconfirmed 57 asks, which spell can you recommend for me to always have good luck and favors? All right, I'm gonna tell you something you can do every single day. All right, start your day with good luck and favor. Okay. I like to sit and get into a state of stillness. And this goes for any spell you cast, any spell whatsoever that you cast, okay? Bring yourself to a place of stillness and start thinking about how much all of creation, the universe, favors you. Start thinking about what you're grateful for in your life now. Think about how lucky you already are. How blessed, how fortunate you are to have air in your lungs, to be breathing, to feel the sun on your skin, to have a bed to sleep in at night when there's so many people that don't. Embody this. You know why? This gratitude? Gratitude's a vibration. This is where I'm getting at. Gratitude is a vibration. It is one of the highest human vibrations, love and gratitude. And when you can bring yourself into that state, right? The universe is an algorithm. Everything we're experiencing is an algorithm. So if you're focusing on the stuff that you think is unlucky, oh, this happened to me today. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, this is going on. I've got to pay the bills. I woke up with having a bad hair day, and woe is me. Guess what? You're calling bad luck to you, because what we focus on, we're giving energy to, and it amplifies. We're getting so much more of that. It's just like when you're scrolling TikTok, and you stay on one video. It's like a Bigfoot cryptid video, guilty, and you're watching it. And you hit the like button, you acknowledge it. Now all of a sudden you've got 20, 30, 40 Bigfoot videos that you're scrolling through. When you focus on one little bad part of your day, one little inconvenience, and you let that dictate your day, guess what? There's going to be 20 more bad things that you're going to find in your day. But when you flip the script and you find the tiniest little thing, even if it's just the slightest bit of relief to be grateful for, if you're if you can find the tiniest thing to be grateful for, it's like a mustard seed. It grows and it grows and it grows. And guess what? You're going to find 20 more things to be grateful for. And all of these opportunities, the good luck, it just keeps coming. I like to think of myself as the luckiest man in the world, because I am. In my universe, I see myself as the luckiest man in the world. When I wake up, I'm just so blessed to have my family. I have my beautiful wife. I have my home. It's like the universe, the stars, the planets, the sun, everything is conspiring just for me, because that's just who I am. And when you can embrace that, when you can embody that, every spell is a good luck spell. Every day is your lucky day. Can you please ask Lucifer if he wants to be my mentor, please? Celestial Priestess asks. Lucifer has already been reaching out to you. Lucifer, there are lessons Lucifer has already been teaching you, and you have already been Lucifer's student. Lucifer is already mentoring you. That's what I'm sensing. That's what I'm hearing right now. Celestial, it's you who must turn and look. Turn and look. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Doesn't mean the teacher wasn't there before. It means the teacher was invisible before. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Ah, there's Lucifer. He's been with you all along. Hey, Ms. Mel says, hey, the back pain from yesterday is still gone. Yeah, we were throwing some spells at that back pain. We were throwing some spells at that back pain. I'm so happy to hear that. Let that back pain stay gone. That is some power. We were all working in this together. When we all gather and we start working magic together, that's when the fast miracles come. That's when the real miracles, that's when the real power starts flowing. That's why I like to have this when I light a candle and we're able to type in our desires and our wishes and all of that. It's like, boom, dynamite. It just explodes. It explodes, and we really get to experience things happening. All that energy coming together is we're opening Pandora's box, but in a good way. But I'm very happy for you. May that back pain stay gone. May that back pain stay gone. Gypsy Rose, Cowgirl. Hello from Oklahoma. Hello, Gypsy Rose. Thank you for being here. It's so good to see you. DC Confirmed 57 asks, what is exactly what I wish I can learn? I'm not sure I'm not sure what you're saying here, DC, or Deconfirmed. If there's a way you can sort of reword that so that my little brain can understand it, it's way too adept for me. So try retyping that, and I would love to answer your question for you. You ever look into Buddhist magic? Buddhist magic goes deep, deep, deep. I have not actually looked into it myself, but here lately I've been seeing a lot of like Taoist magic, and I have practiced some of that. I have practiced that money magic. Yes, we're gonna get the money magic going here in a little bit. All right. And just hang in there. Hang in there. Can you make someone lose tangible things like their job? Yes, you can. With magic. And this is for entertainment purposes only, TikTok, but through magic, you can make people lose jobs, homes, their lives, whatever. All right? You can reach out the black hand of sorcery and do a lot more than you think you can, if you know what you're doing. It says... Nando says, with that said about Chris Angel, is David Copperfield and David Blaine real magicians? Okay. I don't know about David Copperfield. He did make the Statue of Liberty disappear. That was like a rotating stage or something like that. But David Blaine interests me for one reason alone. I've seen him do things that only a possessed person can do. So there's that. I don't know how conscious of a real magician he is, but I have seen him do things that Only a person who's possessed by an entity, usually a demonic entity, is capable of doing. Best cleansing methods besides ritual baths. Mugwort or Palo Santo, or get you a bell and ring a bell throughout your house. Or I just uploaded a video yesterday, about a Sumerian exorcism. You can chant that. Inushab am gigapsu kishigigar shagda sisi amardaya dingir ud kalamasaniku dingirni nabgu yanaxoraniku gayashu shagmukutu. If you can chant that through your house a few times and if you can know without a shadow of a doubt that it has conjured an astral storm and blown your house clean, guess what? Ritual baths, those are all support things. There's a time and a place for it. All right? But I like to be sort of multi-tiered with that. And then set your home up in a way that doesn't need constant cleansing. Build your home into a fortress. Black tourmaline in the corners of your home. I've got broken mirror shards in the windowsills of my home. Those reflect back any sort of bad energy that's sent towards me automatically. I've got certain seals I've got these hanging throughout my house. This is the 5th pentacle of Mars. And what that's going to do, this keeps malevolent entities away. They are scared to death of that. I've got that throughout the house and bedrooms. Set up iron. Iron keeps certain malevolent energies away, negative energies. And then most of all, work on your mind. Learn to rule your own mind. Start each day with gratitude. All right? Start each day with gratitude. Take moments of presence and silence. Try to do this when you wake up. Try and take some time. No phone, no scrolling, no worrying about anything. Give yourself permission. Even if you have 10 minutes, set a timer on your phone. Take 10 minutes, take 5 minutes if that's all you got. And just breathe and be completely present and start thinking about what you're thankful for and how great your day is going to be ahead. When you find time in the evening, take time to do the same thing, but reflect on the day that happened. And the negative things, let those go. You're not taking the negativity into tomorrow. The positive things, keep those with you. Thank you. That's more gratitude. We get to fill ourselves up with more gratitude. And you know what? You're not going to have nearly the problems that I see a lot of other people that are in the occult have. A lot of other people that are in witchcraft have. They focus on the problems, and they amplify the problems, and they make terrible decisions, and it's like they put everything else first. They put the tools first. They put all the items and the chants and the knowledge and all of that first, and they put themselves last. They put their own mind last. And that's the trap you don't want to get in. You don't want to get caught in that trap. Tulia, thank you so much for your support, Tulia. I'm going to find a way to get you to come to France. I'm just going to summon you to France. We got to get the gang together. Ms. Mel said, "You got under my skin with something you said yesterday, and I'm going to try and book a call with you soon." Yeah, let's book a call. I got under your skin. We'll book a call and you can yell at me about it. Truth Hurt says, I'm a guy and new to this, and I'm not sure who I'm drawn to work with, but I need justice. I'm assuming you meant to write justice. Is Nemesis. It looks like you ran out of room to type there. Let me know a little bit more of what you're asking there, and I would be happy to help you as much as I can with figuring it out. LaRon, you skipped my question. Type your question in again. If I skipped over anyone's questions, we've got a busy chat today. If I skipped over anyone's questions, throw it back in the chat. I'm trying to get to everybody as much as possible. I'm not intentionally trying to ignore anybody. I'm just long-winded. So if I skip somebody, it's not that I skipped you. Ask again. Unless it's a stupid question or it's not worthy of an answer. If it's worthy, I'm going to reply to it, all right? During a spell, is it okay to use the word now, or does it show impatience? Yes, it's completely fine to use the word now. I use a lot of present tense whenever I'm in ritual. In ritual, you are creating the future, but in order to do that, you want to create the future. You're remembering the future as though it's already happening right now. So I don't say it will be so. I say it is so. I don't say, I will have this amount of money. I say I have this amount of money. How much are animal sacrifices worth to infernals, and how should one do them? I don't do them personally, so I'm not qualified to answer your question, LaRon. Someone you want to go talk to is going to be J.S. Garrett. Go get a hold of him, because that is part of his practice. But from what he's told me, it's a very powerful thing. I just don't personally do it. I like to use my own crimson stuff, if you know what I mean. Much love, all. Talk soon. Thank you for being here, singing my song. It's so good to see you. What's your thoughts about Temple of Set and becoming Zephyr? Sissy Tats. I don't really have any thoughts on Temple of Set. I don't know that much about them. Temples and orders and things like that aren't really my thing. Nando says, is Asmodeus dangerous to work with? What does he demand for what you want? Have you worked with him? I've worked with Asmodeus or Asmodee a lot. There has to be connection. There has to be relationship. It's not... Guys, we've got to stop looking at this as this for that. Every spirit you work with is demanding all of you for all of them. Period. Point blank. You're not slipping them a $20 bill and they're gonna give you something. What is the thing that you desire? What is that worth to you? And what are you willing to let go of and lay down? So Asmodeus is not dangerous to work with, to answer your question. Asmodeus, okay, let me rewind. Every spirit, almost every spirit could be potentially dangerous to work with. All right? If you are a danger to yourself, if you lack common sense, if you are respectful toward them and you carry self-respect and you carry common sense, you're going to be safe. All right? Asmodeus, I would say, is probably not the easiest beginner entity to work with. Paimon is probably a better beginner entity to work with, but Asmodeus can be a little bit rough around the edges. So it depends on how deep you want to go. What fears do you want to present themselves in your life? Because that's usually the price to pay, is facing some kind of fear, something you're most afraid of in your life. What are you afraid of? That's going to be shown to you in some way, some form, because that's how they give you their power. And it's going to be associated with the energies that they commonly represent. So Asmodeus is going to have to do with lust, passion, desire, sexuality, things like that. If you have repressions there, if you have trauma there, if you have shame there, that's all going to be thrown up in your face. All right? That's going to be challenged in some way. You're going to be pushed. You're going to be challenged in some way. All right? Supermona says, I've done some black magic, and now I hear noises at night and find objects that move. Congratulations. It means it's working. Notification says, what's up? What's up, notification? So great to have you here again. Manny says, keep seeing crows. Me too. Me too. I've been trying to develop a relationship with the crows that come around. Been feeding them peanuts so they gather, and they become like these little friends. They're not quite approachable yet. They're still kind of shy. But I've been seeing and hearing the crows lately, and they're like guides. They're like watchers. They're protective. The crow spirits are highly protective. They are, and right now I'm kind of getting the feeling that if you've been seeing crows, Manny, they're probably watching out for you. They're probably watching over you. Right, keeping you safe from something that has, maybe it's safe from yourself, or maybe those crows are trying to steer you on the right path. Maybe they're trying to steer you on the right path, or interrupt monitoring spirits that are trying to be interruptive, intrusive in your life, trying to spy on you. SCG witchery witchcraft spells. I don't know what you're talking about. You sound like you're ranting on here. Feel free to clear it up though. Sorcerer Dan, I've been on the runic path 36 years. I find a new purpose for them every day. The runic path is a very powerful path. And Sorcerer Dan, go give him a follow. He's a good friend of mine. And if you need a good sorcerer, someone to cast your spells for you, that is someone you want to hit up. And he is also, speaking of runes, he is I would say a master at reading runes. So if you need divination done for you, fortune telling, go to Dan on this, and trust me. You know you're just doing Satan's work with witchcraft, right? You're his puppet when you do witchcraft. I'm doing Satan's work. I'm here to do the devil's work. I am the devil. And I'm nobody's puppet. Satan lives in all of us. We are all the devil. And no matter how good you are, no matter how good you think you are, the devil is part of you too. Nothing you ever do in witchcraft will lead you to peace, guarantee it. Too late, it has. It has. Spirits care less about what you want and more about what you give. Who are we talking about? Jesus here? God? The church? No, it's about relationship. It's about relationship. It's not, the spirits aren't, what can you give me? What can you give me? What can you give me? I demand. That's not, oh my God. Need to. Guys, if you're coming in here just to debate, you're going to get banned, okay? We're here to build community. If you're here just because you feel like arguing, you're not welcome here. Jesus Christ is the only way. Don't rely on the universe or your own power. You know what? You're just here to cause problems, Leela Audio. So you're out. All right. That's one gone. As a Christ follower, he is genuinely doing too much. Amaniah Louis says, my ruling planet is Jupiter, plus I have a lot of Sag in my chart. I'm full of good luck. I love to hear that. Nando says, Leela, I'm Christian. Get off this man's live. You don't want to hear it. Learn shut up or get out. Thank you, Nando. See, that's when we can be respectful of each other's beliefs and, just belong. We can actually have intelligent conversations and be part of a community and part of something that's bigger. Even if we don't agree on everything, even if we have different backgrounds or religious views, whatever. It's about respect. And if we're being disrespectful going into people's territories, it's a good way to get your ass thrown out. Can you see if Lucifer is still with me? Lucifer is still with you. Are you still with Lucifer? That's the deeper question. Have you handled court cases or prosecutors, or do you teach and advise on fear surrounding? I have handled court cases. I've handled quite a few court cases, magically speaking. I usually go to Belial for anything legal. Belial, the lawless one. Vanessa says, hi, traditional witch and occultist here. I don't have questions, just leaving a follow. Thank you so much, Vanessa, and welcome in. I'm so glad to see you. Someone else says, do you do a court case? I've done court cases before. Here's the thing about court cases. When you work magic for a court case, work your magic, work your spell, or call on Belial, but then immediately after, go to your attorney. Allow Belial or your magic to work through your attorney, through the judges, through everything that needs to happen, all right? You've got to be strategic and surgical when it comes to legal stuff and magic. There are a lot of laws within magic, and you'll find that even if our earthly laws don't quite, it's not the same thing as magical law, universal law, magic gets along with it pretty well. Jurgen asked, how can I stop the pain in my body? Tell me a little bit more about this pain in your body. What do you have going on? Maybe we can collectively do something for you here today. So feel free to type in what you have going on. Let us know, and we're going to focus energy on that, Jurgen, all right? Can you see my comments? Yes, I see your comments. Blessed be, brother Witchy Gamer Chick. Blessed be to you too. Stussy, you need Jesus in your life. I have Jesus in my life. Not Jesus. Jesus wasn't real. I have Yeshua. Yeshua was a black magician, just like me. I'm doing the work that Yeshua commanded to do. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers. I have done all of that. And I've never had to jump into people's lives and assert my opinion to do so. I just do the work. I feed the homeless, I clothe and shelter those. I take care of the needy. I do so much that Christ did that most of you guys probably don't do. Most of you Christ-aligned people, church people, none of you are doing the work of Christ. Me, a black magician, actually am, including the supernatural shit. So you tell me who needs Jesus in his life. Any ideas of how to do the lesser banishing ritual with the inverted pentagram? You're going to want to go get the book. I hate for you to buy the whole book just to do this, but you might can find an essay on it. In the book Tree of Clipoth by Temple of Ascending Flame, there is a Dark Tower ritual, which is essentially the inverted version of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. France is just next to Scotland. Have you been to England yet? Was waiting on you and family. No, we bailed on the England thing just because of timing, and summer was just too busy for everybody. So we moved it to fall around Halloween. We're going to be in France, in Normandy, France. And we're just gathering up, those that want to come stay with us in the castle. Magical people. We're staying in an old castle in France for 3 nights, 4 days. and we're just going to be practicing magic. We're going to be talking about magic. It's going to be fully immersive. The ultimate magical experience. I want it to be like Harry Potter meets, I don't know, it meets like the show Lock and Key. That's what I imagine. What do you think about blood magic? Use it every day. That's what I think about it. Have you worked with King Paimon ever? Yes, I have. I have where I've been possessed by Paimon. Very powerful entity, but an amazing entity to work with. Can you please see if Father Lucifer is still with me? I think I already answered you on that one. Yes. Lucifer's, I feel the energy of Lucifer coming off your thing. He's with you. What about Santa Muerte? I've never worked with Santa Muerte. Okay, I'm rereading stuff that I've read before. That's why. That's why. Christy Johnson says, I'm growing peanuts for the crows. That's amazing. I go buy my peanuts at the store. I'm not patient enough to grow them. And I do have little shiny gifts for the crows. I buy little jingle bells, and they do take them. They'll take them. I had 3 snakes in my house on the same day. I've never had a snake in my house in my life. What does that mean to you, Brittany? 3 snakes. What does that mean to what does that mean to you? I would look into that. I would think about that a little bit more. At what age did you start following your path? At birth. At birth, like all of us. I officially opened my eyes to the path I'm on at age 26 is when I started really opening my eyes to it. I'm 35 now. Most of the way to 40. What's a good protection spell for baneful magic? Create wards. Multi-layer your wards. Alright, start with protection of the self. Right? Activate your astral body of light. Bring yourself into resonance. Bring that protective force within you and feel it all around you as you breathe. But then start setting up things. You could take some, I don't know if I have any around me right now. You could take some smoky quartz that has transmutation properties. Start carrying smoky quartz around. You can carry it in your pockets or carry it around your house. Ward your car. Ward your house. Broken glass traps spirits. Keep a collection of broken glass. I have a couple ward jars here. I've got black salt here. I've got some clear quartz, and I've got some intentions written in there that I've just folded up, and I've just got it in a jar. I've got broken glass. I've got shards of mirrors in my windows reflecting baneful magic back. Multi-layer it up, and you know it's always going to work for you. And then on top of that, maintain spiritual hygiene. Be careful who you're talking to or who you're taking the energy from. right? Don't feed yourself into drama. Don't follow dramatic creators and engage in their stuff. People that are chaotic themselves, you become what you behold. You're gonna become chaotic. This goes be deeper than like baneful magic and stuff like that. When people are harassing you, or when people are maybe not, if they're harassing you, you've got to take action and do something. But if people are just leaving comments, if they're hating on you or whatever, don't give them any energy. You don't have to be right. You don't have to just make use of that block button and get rid of people. All right? Make use of the block button. The block button is an amazing. What's a good protection spell? I just read that one. Will you share some information about Nyx? I feel like she's calling to me. I don't know. I can't give you an educated, qualified answer. All right. I've not worked with Nyx, and I haven't studied Nyx nearly enough to give an educated answer on that. So I'm gonna invite you to do a little bit of research on that and go down a YouTube rabbit hole. That's your path working this week. Go down a YouTube rabbit hole, type in Nyx, get other people's experiences, compare notes, and see what you can learn about the history, and you're going to develop a connection that way. You're going to develop a strong connection. And then the reaching out after that is just a matter of invitation. In fact, you're already being invited. You're already being invited. What about getting court cases / charges dismissed without retaining private counsel? I've seen the magic work in crazy, crazy ways. Evidence completely disappear from evidence rooms. You would be amazed. I think Magic can work for anything, literally anything, and no matter how impossible you think it is, I think it's probably possible. I think it's probably possible. Shannon's voice says, never defend your integrity. I 100% agree with that. Black Spaniard Magic. If you believe near death or having your heart stop and coming back makes you more open to spirits. Yes! Yes, you have dipped into the other side and you're never going to be the same again. Can you see if my dad has put negativity of some kind on me? I'm sensing something there. There's definitely negativity there. I don't know that it was put on you or sent to you. That's unclear. But what I do know is that there is something there, and it might benefit you to kind of release that, to kind of let that go. So one thing you could do is just an intentional shower. Imagine yourself washing that negativity away. Or go take a ritual bath. Light a candle, turn out all the lights in the bathroom, and fill that bathtub up. Put some salt in there if you want to, and imagine all that negativity being pulled out of you as you soak in the bath. And when you go to drain the bathtub, all that negativity just washes away. It washes down the drain. Besides, what's in it for you to aspire to be a black magician? How silly can you be, really? I'm pretty silly, so I don't know. I aspire to be me. I aspire to be a better me every day. I want you to come. Pretty Blue Eyes, I want you to come to France. That would be amazing. How can I go to it? If you're curious about the trip to France, this is a magical retreat. All right? This is for magicians, this is for witches, and there's only going to be about 10 of us. If you want to go purchase a ticket, you can go to the link in my bio and get a ticket. You get that reserved. The only thing you're going to have to take care of is your travel to France. And Matthew Mann is the guy I'm collaborating with. We are working together on putting this together. It's a big alchemical thing. We're practicing. We're going to be practicing high magic, a little bit of ceremonial magic, demon magic, what I call demon magic. And we're going to be practicing angel magic, and just running through all sorts of things. There's so much to learn. There's so much to experience. But ultimately, it's going to be about having fun. How often do you just get to go stay in a castle, play, and do whatever you want to do, and it just be surrounded by magical people, and the whole thing is going to be fixated on magic. Magic, magic, magic. So if that's something that sounds cool to you, I'd love to see you there. Go to the link in my bio. Check out the Merlin and Morgana retreat. It's going to be sort of Merlin and Morgana themed. And this is just taking place in the countryside in France, in this old castle. It's going to be amazing. So click the link in my bio. Go check out the website. You can make a reservation today. And we have Klarna set up for both US and UK. So you can get your ticket now, and you don't have to pay anything. You can go ahead and get your ticket, and you can pay on that. You can actually finance that ticket. Oh boy, get a load of this guy. No thanks. I'm tired of getting a load of this guy. Oh, that sounded wrong. High Priestess, what about getting court cases? I feel like everybody's asking this. Did I already answer that? I think I did. What immediate defenses does the occultist have against poltergeist activity? A lot of the time, poltergeist activity, yes, it's an external spirit that's causing it, but that external spirit, in order to get that amount of energy to cause poltergeist, is feeding on something that's inside of you. So if there's stored up anger, or especially grief, if there's grief that you haven't felt, that you haven't made peace with, if there's something inside of you that is bottled up, that is controlling you, that you're going to see a lot more poltergeist activity around the house, a lot of footsteps, a lot of doors slamming, things like that. Now, this can happen on its own. I've had more poltergeist this year than just about any other time in my life. Just things happening in my house. And I've been experiencing a lot of grief for the last almost year now, because of finding out my grandfather, the man who basically raised me, he's been battling cancer. He's been battling pancreatic cancer. And so I'm having to face the harsh truth of we lose people. We lose people in this life. But death isn't the end. But I have a lot of grief surrounding that, and it does cause a lot of activity in my home. So look within. What are you dealing with? What are you feeling? Luna Crystal Dream says, I've started this path 3 years ago, but it's been dropping me hints all my life. And that's the amazing thing about this path. Once you step into it, you realize it's always been a part of you. It's always been a part of you because that's the way your mind has always worked. You've always sort of questioned things. You've always been curious. It's that curiosity. That inner voice has always been guiding you somewhere. And sometimes we go through parts of our path where we think, oh, this is where I'm being guided to. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. That's what you needed to learn at the time. But then you have the next stage of your awakening. And you wake up and like, oh, I feel much more at home now. Alex says, I have hummingbirds visiting my house. I think they symbolize transformation and change. Indeed. And it's such an amazing thing when hummingbirds, when they come around, they feel like magical creatures. Have you ever noticed that? They're different and birds are magical, but hummingbirds there's something magic very much about that. Have you worked with Lilith? I have. I have worked with Lilith, and that's some very powerful and intense energy. That is going into your own dark feminine, working with Lilith, who governs the animalistic side of the self, the instinctual side of the self, our desires that we repress, being able to live those desires out. Think about, I was just watching Jim Carrey's movie, The Mask, last night. And when he puts the mask on, it's supposed to be like the mask of Loki, right? When he puts the mask on and he's like, I don't know, it's like all of these, I'm a repressed man, but all of these desires, the way that I truly want to be in life, the way that I want to live, it just all comes up to the surface. It's just like that, especially working with Lilith. You work with Lilith, all the repressed desire, this repressed identity of the self starts coming to the surface. The version of you that you're stuffing down in order to keep other people comfortable or to make yourself seem more gentle or acceptable or to fit in with this political party or that political party because that's what people expect of you. Lilith says, no, we're trashing that. Who are you? Who are you? We're going to bring you out of the shadows. We're going to bring you out of the outer darkness. That's who it's time to be now. Christ is knocking at the door, patiently waiting. Christ is knocking at the door. I don't know why some really homoerotic imagery just came up whenever I read that, but knocking at the door. I don't know. We've got like the church congregation and their grandmas in the chat today for some reason. They look so magical. They're very cute birds. They are so cute. They're so cute. I didn't catch a hummingbird, but one was on the ground. One was on the ground when I was at work one day, and I picked it up, and I had to help it get back up into flight again. I'm experiencing this. Lilith wants me to be more aggressive to disrespect. Yeah, it's setting up boundaries. Boundaries. You're going to let people disrespect you. That doesn't mean you have to become insufferable. That doesn't mean that sometimes you got to put the foot down. When somebody crosses that boundary, you say what needs to be said, you do what needs to be done. And then you cut that person off if they will not respect that boundary after that. Everybody has a choice. Knock, knock. Ghost asks, hey, can you help me sell my soul? Now, I'm going to say this daily because someone asked this daily. I cannot help you sell your soul. You have already sold your soul to something or someone. We've all done it. At some point, life lost its color. Life lost the music. You ceased to be you. You ceased to be you ceased to embody what made your life magical. You traded that for something. You traded that for a bowl of soup. You traded your birthright for a bowl of soup. You started working your job. You started hanging out with the wrong crowd. You started getting into toxic relationships, and little by little, you were giving out pieces of your soul here and there, and you became nothing but an empty shell. And here you're asking, how can I sell my soul? My friend, you've already done it. You didn't even have to sell it. You gave it away for free. Your job is not to sell your soul. It is to get your fragments back. Get every bit of that back to yourself, because that's the only way that you're going to feel true joy in life again. That's the only way that you're going to find peace again, is to get your soul back. Stop looking to sell it. That's not going to, you're not going to sell your soul and all of a sudden everything's going to be happening for you. And, you become the rock star tomorrow. Get your soul back. Get your soul back and watch what happens. Watch what happens. They gotta spread the word. Which deity do you sense and feel with me? High Priestess. Triple Goddess energy. Morrigan. Hecate, maybe. Hecate or the Morrigan. One of those two. I sense that energy around you. I might be off. Maybe Artemis. Maybe Artemis. People are so misinformed about everything. I'll agree with that. Hey, is there a demon reaching out to me or connected to me? Is there a demon reaching out to you or connecting to you? I'm seeing something. There's a definite energy there. There's an invitation there. This is feeling like it's more of a masculine energy. Alakaz, maybe. Alakaz, it starts with an A. I would look into that. Start asking. Search within yourself. Ask who's reaching out to you. DVVR Darkness says, man, I do love every video you post. Thank you so much. Thank you for following, and thank you for keeping up with all the nonsense that I'm up to. All right, guys, don't spam the chat with your questions just because I don't answer it straight away. It's okay to drop it again if I didn't get to it 15 minutes ago, but one after another, yeah, I'm going to have to ban you if you can't control yourself. I'll put you in a 30-minute timeout. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifts. What do you think about what Jesus did on the cross? Jesus conquered death on the cross. And you know what he said? As he's doing this, he said, "What you see me do, you can do greater things than these." As he's dying on the cross, as he's raising the dead, as he's cleansing the lepers, as he's healing the sick, as he's feeding the hungry, you can do greater things than these. As the Magi, as the order of the Magi are visiting him as a child, as when he was a child, magicians came and visited Christ. You can do greater things than these. As he's working with Satan in the desert, being initiated by Satan in the desert, passing Satan's test in the desert, you can do greater things than these. My connection is bad. I can't hear you. I think everybody else can. I think that is on your end. Hi from Finland. Hello. Hello from the USA. Books Pause Chaos. I love that name, by the way. I'm extremely curious what energy you sent around me. I'm assuming you mean sense around you. I haven't sent you anything, but sense around you. Feels calm. Calm energy. Calm energy. There's been going through some emotional pain, maybe, or at least recently. Some emotional pain, stuff that you don't like to talk about out loud with others. That's what I'm sensing. Maybe I'm right. All of this is just guesses. All of this is just guesses of knowledge. Release with Raven. What goddess do you sense around me? What goddess do I sense around you? I'm thinking, who comes to mind initially is Caridwen. Caridwen. Look up Caridwen in Welsh mythology. This is a goddess of witchcraft, magic, wisdom. Especially poetry and inspiration. She formulated the magical elixir called the Awen. Milu, welcome here. Your first time here. I'm so glad to have you. I sold my soul and they gave it back. demanding a refund. You know, I sold my soul for a bucket of KFC once. I never got my soul back. Did authentic Lilith ever come to me, or I was working with an imposter for 6 years? I don't think you're going to be working with an imposter for 6 years. They usually come in, an imposter, a mimic, they come in when they can just get the energy that's in something. They're not going to sit there and work with you for 6 years straight. Can Marley, or is that Marie 718 asked, can you sense lots of spirit beings around me? I'm very open spiritually. Anyone you can pick up on. I'm sensing ancestors on you, ancestral spirits around you right now. But also some wandering spirits around you. Because they're curious. Have you noticed little strings of good luck lately, Marie? Little strings of good luck. Sometimes these wandering spirits will try and bring you things. Same with like succubus and incubus spirits. They tend to bring you things that they think you desire. Bites Midnights. There's a masculine energy hanging around. It's peaceful. Do you sense it? I sense that around you. Not that you're masculine yourself, but there's a protective spirit, a protective force that has your back, that's trying to keep you safe. And sometimes it can feel overbearing. Sometimes that protective force that's around you almost feels annoying because plans fall through when you want to go hang out with people. All of a sudden, it just falls through. They can't make it. People flake on you. But it's that protective spirit, that masculine energy that's saying, nope, stay away from them people. You know, don't go this way. You don't know what they could be protecting you from. But trust that they're there and that they've got your back. I can tell that much. Do you believe we are capable of telepathy? Yes. And also if we listen to plants and trees speak to us? Yes. You know, that's how tribal people have historically communicated with plants and trees, as through telepathy. Start by going out. First of all, touching a tree is very, very grounding, but you connect with the energy of the tree. Talk to that tree just like you're talking to a friend. And then wait. Give it time and see if answers don't just start coming up, or ideas or images. That tree is probably communicating back to you. Those plants are probably going to communicate back to you. JK says, your aura is the color amber with angel vines wrapped around it and gray smoke lingering behind you. Well, that sounds pretty fantastic. It reminds me of 311 and the song Amber. Whoa! Thank you for that. Thank you for that read, JK. Thank you. Gotta go for meditation time. Love you and have a great day. See you in France. Tulia, love you too. Have a great meditation Have a great meditation. Awesome things are coming for you, Tulia, by the way. Awesome things are coming. This is Monique Cruz. This is my first time. Welcome aboard, Monique. Thank you for being here. Celestial Priestess asked, which spirit wants to be my mentor and protector? It's not my place to say, Celestial. It's not my place to dictate that. Who comes to mind when you think spirits, when you think mentor? Who comes to mind? Who do you feel drawn to? Who's reaching out to you? Who do you feel that connection with, or who would you like to have that spiritual connection with? That's going to be a lot more of a stronger answer than me trying to guess who wants to be your mentor. But I can, if you give me a name, I can probably double verify that for you. I can feel the energy on that. Bitches make me famous. Hi, I still remember your laugh when that candle fell on its own on your page. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. The thing just slid across the tray and jumped over. Hey, can you talk about astral doubles and how to use them? Yes, so astral double, practice by developing your astral body of light. So imagine your body is filling up with light as you breathe. And once you do this, in your imagination, just pretend that you are outside of your body. Imagine that you're in the room outside of your body, that you're maybe across the room, or maybe you're on the edge of the bed. Imagine that you're across the room, and remember what the room looks like. See if you can start to piece back together what the room you're in looks like. And you begin to form the astral matrix around you. The body you have is your astral double. The body you have in this astral matrix is your astral double. Now, it's not enough to just imagine like you're watching a movie on a screen. Try and feel the floor beneath your feet. Imagine what the floor feels like beneath your feet. Imagine what the walls feel like. Imagine what your clothing, if you're wearing any, feels like on your skin. All of these little details, start bringing this world to life. Bring the astral world to life. It's not enough to imagine you're there. When you do this, when you start to engage your senses, you are there. You are there. Think about when you have a dream. You actually feel people touching you in your dreams. You actually feel you're touching stuff in your dreams. You're hearing things. You can smell things. You can taste. Engage your five senses in the astral, in your imagination, and you will be there. Your astral double is the body that you have, this version of you that you have. Now how we can use this astral double is we can visit places, we can visit people, we can make changes to ourselves, we can make changes to our appearance. If you want to appear scarier, give yourself more of a scary aura. You can make yourself more attractive, make your astral double more attractive. You can make your astral double wealthy. All of these things. Now, why is this important? Why is this helpful? Beyond just fantasy. Beyond just mental masturbation. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok Live. Because what happens in the astral, when we're able to fully experience it, fully engaged with all five senses, what happens on the astral plane creates a thought form in the spirit world. Now, when that thought form is made in the spirit world, it starts to make its way back into the physical plane. All right? When I go into my astral temple, I have a bank in my astral temple. When I make a withdrawal from my astral bank and I talk to the guy that's working at it, he's like a skeleton with like a visor on and the little glasses. I'm like, "Hello, sir. Right away, sir. This is all fantasy in my head. Okay, this is my castle with a bank in it, and I like to do this. It makes it fun." I always, when I make an astral withdrawal from my infernal treasury, there's always a huge influx in money that month or the following month. The reason I say this is to illustrate something, by the way. This is to illustrate something. When something happens in the astral, when you do something in the astral, there's an effect in the real physical world that happens. Whether it's energetic, the energy around you that you carry in the physical world, or there's sort of a catching up effect. All right? Most people you meet on a day-to-day basis, are you meeting them or are you meeting their astral aura? Are you meeting their aura? Your perception of people. When you see someone who you perceive as attractive for a second, you're like, "Oh, who's that?" But then you look a little bit closer and they look a little different, right? You're seeing people's auras first. That's why a first impression exists. You see people's auras first. Your aura is what you build up in your astral double. Okay? So this is also the basis of, let's say, glamour magic. If you wanted to change how people perceive you, start changing your astral double, right? Wear your astral double as an overlay. Wear your astral double as an overlay and see what you can get away with. I'm about to start going heavily deep into this on my Patreon. I've done an entire astral magic course, but I'm going to start an illusion magic course on my Patreon. So if you're interested in taking things further and going deep down into illusion magic, we're talking changing the color of your eyes, changing your face, shape-shifting, changing the entire room, playing trickery and deception on people, the way they perceive environments. You could cast illusion around you, have everybody perceive you as a rock star out in public. Or you could see people perceive you as scary and there's something, or mysterious or attractive or whatever it is. That's the illusion magic, glamour magic. I'm going to be doing a full course on, only available in Patreon. So it'll be a mixture of the initiate tier, and there will be some videos exclusive only to the Inner Temple, which is my top tier. And the group ritual for this month is going to be centered around glamour magic. So definitely, it's all part of the theme. So if that's something you'd be interested in, head over to my Patreon, become a member. There's some awesome, badass shit coming. Any thoughts on Demons of Magic by Gordon Winterfield? Yeah, the simplification of it's pretty awesome. I read it, I liked it, but then I decided I've got to do it my own way. I've got to do it my own way. I've been seeing signs of those specific deities. You're incredibly intuitive. I'm I try to be. It's all guesses. I don't know anything. You know, when you get like a word of knowledge or an intuitive nudge, it's just a guess. I just go with the first thing that pops up in my head. All right, guys, I'm about to have to get off. I'm going to have to get off of here in a moment. How to start working with an incubus. I'm going to tell you the best way to do that. One, develop your astral abilities. All right? Start developing your astral abilities. Two, start developing a connection with an incubus spirit. All right? I actually have a post on Patreon about this, and also if you go to Patreon, take my Astral Magic course on Patreon, you're gonna have I'm giving you the keys to the Lamborghini here. With an incubus or succubus spirits, you have to build it and they will come. No pun intended. You have to start building them a body to inhabit in your imagination, in your magical imagination. And the more you visit with them, the stronger that relationship gets, the more vivid they become. The more vivid they become. And at first, it's like, oh yeah, this is just in my imagination. This is just da 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 da. But then it's almost like, imagine fingerprints on the other side of a curtain. And then something touches you at night. You feel something touch your skin. You feel something get in bed with you. Eventually, what's created in the astral, what's created in the spirit world, finds its way into the physical. Check out my Astral Magic course on Patreon. Ms. Mel, get a hold of me. If you're needing to use PayPal and you want to book a call, send me a message. Send me a message either on here or my email, damios@damios.com, and shoot me a message, and we can take care of that. If you need to use PayPal or Venmo or whatever to book a call, we can take care of that. Bites Midnights, you're very welcome. Spencer J. Bullock says, how do I make sense of the rapid flashes of info I get before I sleep some nights? They're not always going to make sense. These are spiritual symbols that your rational brain is trying to make sense of. And it can't always do that. Start learning the language of symbolism. Start learning what these flashes mean to you. Think of what this information means to you. Is it forbidden magic if it's easily accessible? Yeah. It's pretty forbidden in most places. I have friends who live in countries where they get the death penalty for practicing what we're so freely talking about right now. Count your blessings. Experience the mall world? I want to say I have, Autumn. I want to say I have. I usually have the haunted house world. There's always some haunted house, and I'm going to different levels of it and things like that. Sheldon, don't Google that. We don't. This is a rated PG Christian chat. We're not Googling. We're not gonna Google mental masturbation. That is, it's a sin. I'm not condoning it. Danzig. Oh, I've got Danzig here. What an honor. Danzig, please don't laugh, but why do I feel like I've been cursed or something? Such bad luck in my life. Why do you feel Danzig, why do you feel like you deserve to be cursed? Why do you feel like you're cursed? It's not that you have a curse. It's not that you have a curse. I feel like it's deeper. I feel like there's a worthiness problem. Why don't you feel worthy? Why don't you feel like you have worth at the level that's actually true? So I'm telling you now, you're worth more than a lot. You're worth a lot more than you've been told, and a lot more than you believe you are. You're a lot more valuable than you give yourself credit for. You're not cursed. What's your thoughts on reality shifting? Reality is always shifting, every moment of every day. Have you ever done a crossroads ritual? Not formally, not at a crossroads. There is a crossroads not too far from here that I want to go do some stuff with. Catalyst Craft. You literally work with Asmodeus. Ooh, I can tell too. I can tell. S. Hi, S. Great to see you again. Alright, let's see. I would love that. Could use an incubus meditation. If someone has already made an incubus meditation, maybe you could do that. I've thought about creating something. I've thought about creating something for Patreon, but doing it in a way where it's a guided meditation, but it leaves it open. That's what I've done with a lot of my the astral workshops. Is I guide you to the gateway, right? By like the third session, it's just I take you to the gateway and pretty much drop you off, and then I ring the bell to bring you back. And then I'll leave it open for you. Maybe I could do something I don't know. How could I do that with like Incubus and like there's a way, but I feel like if I make it, it's gonna be because if I listen to what I'm thinking about, I would be laughing. If there's a guided meditation that's talking about the stuff that I'm thinking about, it would make me laugh. It would be hard for me to focus and stay in the state that I need to be in. But I think that would be it would be cool to play around with. No pun intended. How to get rid of demon spirits that's sent to you. Banish them. Burn some mugwort. Burn some mugwort and look up the Testament of Solomon. Find the 5th pentacle of Mars. Print this out. Screenshot this right now. Screenshot this right now. It'll save you some time. Print that out. Hang it on your wall above your bed. Yes, pre-recorded. Pre-recorded. Alright guys, I'm about to have to get out of here. We are completely caught up. One more question. It's dark. It's always nightmares, and I can even be aware I'm in a dream and still have no control. If you're always having nightmares, Purple Fox, if you're always having nightmares, I would look into that. I would look into spiritual hygiene, banishing, and things like that. One, cover your bases. I'm not saying there's any kind of a curse over you. I don't want to plant seeds of fear. That doesn't sound like a curse to me, unless it were to be accompanied by other stuff. But that does sound like it does sound like there's something that needs to be released. There's something that needs to be released. I would look into that. All right, I'm gonna show the 5th pinnacle of Mars really quick. Don't exit out of your screenshot this time. All right, there you go. All right, guys, I'm gonna be back tomorrow at the same time, so you'll see it if you check my story. There's going to be a thing to register, and you're not going to miss it. So we'll start right from the beginning. If you're just coming in, you'll be able to catch the full deal tomorrow. We'll go through everything. Tomorrow's going to be an exciting meeting. You know, I like to keep these lives. You're not coming on watching me. We're coming together as a group. We're in here working magic together. We're doing some divination, some fortune telling, some Q&A, all of this stuff. We're coming together like a family. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your day.